chess player, you have plenty of opportunities to challenge and play online against the top players participating in the Chessable Masters Super Tournament. Don't miss the opportunity to learn from the best. Check out the Chess24 shows area and tune in for banter blitzes with the likes of Mariano Caruana, Alexander Krischuk, and Kentara Harikrishna. Go join them at Chess24 to challenge them and gain full access to the world's most entertaining chess platform.
We just saw Mac. You just the engine about the move F4. What was your discovery?
No, there were. I thought there were some interesting things. First of all, after Rook C1, computer just seems to think Black is better, and that. Surprisingly, we actually got a lot of these positional things right. That the whole that Black was better here after knight a6, knight b4, and that he misplayed it a bit later. But that knight bc4 was a serious mistake that gave Black the initiative again. What I found interesting though is that we were discussing f4 here, and Black should go knight a6 and so on. F5. There are some interesting lines like c5, d5, knight b4, queen b3, or there was maybe king h8 first actually, and then there were some c6 ideas for Black as well. But it was just complicated, but probably better for White. What was interesting is that we thought f5 was probably a decent response here. And the computer just says knight e5, White is completely winning. At least at low depth, which I thought was pretty fascinating.
Wow. Oh, just the king side just gets completely destroyed, yeah.
Yeah, fe4, f5.
f5 is
f5, and I mean, when you look at it, it sort of makes sense. But
yeah.
This is not even interesting. This is just winning White.
Wow. Cool. Sorry, but we are in game 3. Let's jump, and it looks like it's Winnie's India. Peter, take it away.
Well, I would like to pass it on to somebody, anybody. I have 0 games on castles knight c6 in my entire life. I used to play knight bd7, but nobody who has any sense does that. So, the bayonet. Have you played the bayonet in any tournaments?
Yeah, a little bit. I haven't had much success against it as Black. To be fair, I tried a5 once against Kremnik, and I was just lost and miraculously saved the game. Then I had a few games with White with more success. Obviously, 98 is a specialty of Hikaru. I think he's beaten Vichy with this. Maybe Vichy's game was 992. That could be actually. But yeah, basically the themes are the same. You just go 98. you expand on the king side, you don't care about the queen side at all, and you try to deliver mate.
Yeah, but just the bayonet, I mean, right. You are conceding so much ground on the queen side there.
No, but I've definitely seen you played against the bayonet as well.
Yeah, that's why I was asking for help, because I really don't know anything about this game.
Yeah, I think he's even gone like age 6. Maybe before playing F5 once.
You were right about the game against Vishy. That's almost 10 years ago
in London.
London, yeah, the famous game. Yeah.
I feel like he's won some. He beat Gelfand once, I think. World Teams 2010.
He also had a spectacular win as black against Brasilis.
Oh yeah, but that was
a different line altogether. Yeah.
That was 91.
Yeah.
So a couple of games against Veselin in 2017, a game against Putin in 2009, and also one against Gata. And I would like, so far I see 5 on my screen. I would like for our esteemed panel to guess how many points Hikaru scored out of those 5.
I'm gonna guess 4.
4.5.
4.5, okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go for 4.5. What was the winning speed?
Yeah,
sorry for my lag. Sorry for
it's actually quite stunning to me because I think by rights this should be quite a good King's Indian for white. So I just understands the King's Indian. It's such a, I think, regrettable thing for the chess world in general that he switched to the Queen's Gambit decline. Apart from his opponents, who are probably enjoying the switch.
By the way, help me out here. For all of those people in our audience who are playing the King's Indian defense and enjoy positions like this in their league games and their club games, why is this a good King's Indian defense for white? Isn't black? You pushed your B pawn and your A pawn. Congratulations. Isn't black got the, so to speak, ideal King's Indian attack going here, guys? What's wrong with black's position?
Well, I think once again my understanding is, I wanted to say rudimentary. It's not even that it's rudimentary. I think it's just wrong, which is a bigger problem than it being.
We have operators standing by. It's a 1-900 call. It's like,
yeah, but
we have professionals. We can help.
I think white made kind of good strides on the queen side, and he also maintains this idea of going 95-96, which is something. If you compare this to say the normal 92-94 eternity, and then there's the race going on 491-97, perhaps, which are kind of closer in spirit, 93 or 5 or 3 or 4, and so on. Here the knight has already migrated away from a 3. And, you know, the battlegrounds are a lot more defined. Black has this, typical play on the queen side where white will start something on the other side of the board. Whereas, in the position we have here, I think white is, he's gotten somewhere on the king side, and he hasn't actually conceded the king side yet.
Let me bite and just say, okay, I'm playing knight takes e4. You will play.
That makes knight g5.
Like, I seen a game of Bobby Fischer from the 1600, knight f5,
I think these days this is supposed to be just bad, right? Because white goes like bishop f1, rook a3, bishop b2, eventually takes out this knight, and the bishop on g7 never really becomes a real boy. This I like quite strongly would suggest for black not to do. Yeah, I think this is not good.
Okay.
I would like for Magnus to chime in here because I might be wrong, but
yeah, I was just going to say that you asked me about my experience in these kinds of positions, and I suddenly remembered. I think it was before the match against Germany. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm revealing too much here, but I think at this point this is part of just history. So Vichy was preparing d4, and I was basically there as just to play training games, which was extremely unpleasant in a sense because I was told just to try everything against d4, and he had prep everywhere, obviously. And so one of the things was I was told to play the King's Indian and just try to make him. So I do have some experience there, and I as far as I can remember, like the first 2 or 3 games against Vichy, I just made it inside, and then after that, I lost every game basically, and I sort of my appetite for these particular positions waned a bit. I find it interesting though the approach that Ding has gone for here with Rookie 1 and.
Yeah, that wasn't very obvious. And actually, I'm quite surprised by Rook A2. I was pretty sure Rook A3 was coming. Aren't you always putting it on A3 in this position?
Yeah, it just looks better. Protect C3. The third rank is very much relevant.
I was just expecting the Rook to land on A3, and then he chose this. I guess
he's
he wants
protecting
to.
F2, right?
Yeah, he's paying attention to the F2 square, but I don't know how Black would even mount any kind of an offense against the F2.
Knight G4.
Yeah.
I just wanted to follow up, Magnus. So in those training games you played, were they blitz? What was the time control that you were playing the training games?
Yeah, generally.
Okay. So, take it away. G6, G5.
D3, I assume, but I guess Black just goes Queen D7 and then Knight G6. This is a very playable position.
Yeah, this is looking a little bit like those Rui Lopez's that I've played a bit. Exactly. Like Yusupov used to play this as like you change your bishops, but you have so much space on the king side that you feel like you're sort of okay. I would be tempted to go H4 here as white. Like I did something similar against Hikaru in the previous tournament, and no, I mean without
I just straight away. Yeah, maybe that makes a lot more sense.
I'm not sure it's great though. Also, yeah, G4 was not forced. E4 was also an option.
Yeah, E4 doesn't work, right?
No.
Knight D4,
D4, GH, and who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
It's the kind of position you want in a semi-must game. So.
Yeah, I think Black is extremely happy for that specific reason. Yeah. You don't actually care about the regulation, of course. And once again, I would very much like to have the Rook on A3 here.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. A line like Knight
takes Bishop G4, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you really want the Knight on C3 here to not be hanging.
This might still be right, by the way. Knight G4, Bishop G4, H5, Queen G6.
Queen G6, and we're keeping the Queen on, yeah. But with the Rook on A3, this would have been just like if you imagine this position with the Rook on A3,
Magnus, I don't know if you've seen this yourself, but I've seen a lot of games, especially I guess on the Italian, where Black plays H6, G5, and a move like what you played, H2, H4, just somehow Black's not getting disturbed after advancing his pawn shield. He's doing pretty okay.
Yeah, and I guess in these particular situations that we have in the game, right, where white is not really going for the whole keeping the pawn in e4, f3, and then c5, then the space that you gain on the queen side isn't that useful. So in that sense, I would say black is doing fairly okay here. H3,
That looks timid to me. I don't quite know.
yeah, I guess he was defending some kind of knight H2 at some point, taking some control of the right square, but which is happening.
Yeah.
So we plant the knight on f4, Peter.
Yeah, this is what I've been looking at. 96, 94.
The arrows are anytime Peter's on the attack, everybody, you'll see his arrows improving incredibly well. You know? Put the knight on f4.
I'm not sure we need to do it immediately. I'm also looking at more like king d7, keeping things slightly more flexible. But yeah, I guess we can do, because I was worried about bishop d3, but I guess we can play king d7 here. The issue is, once again, in a must-win game, how happy are we about the fact that white can actually get the queens off here?
I would say not very happy at all. I would say that this is a position advantage, right?
Yeah, and in this particular endgame, I think we are quite happy to play h2. Some kind of an expansion with g4 and h5 would be quite useful to black, but it's unavailable.
Yeah, this is just good for white, I think. I mean, the only chance you could see for black is some quick c6, but I don't believe it.
Yeah. He's
Otherwise-
played queen e8.
So he wants the queen on f7. Or g6 maybe? G6 looks weird.
Yeah, g6 kind of gets in the way of his own play, I think, a little bit. You're still, let's say you imagine, I don't know which passing you to make for white. You're still not threatening g4 because knight h4 is very painful, so it's... by the way, do we never play g5, g4 in this type of positions, or is there kind of a set of withdraw?
Peter, by the way, I think we have a tweet dedicated to you from Mr. Dodgy saying, bizarre move by Hikaru when bishop f5. Clearly the move a6, which would achieve the symmetrical bathtub, was the way to go. I think the viewers are still waiting for a6 and your thoughts on the symmetrical bathtub.
Very much,
Oh,
there it is!
there
There it is!
Oh, the symmetrical bathtub on the board, everybody! Now we are happy.
Now we are ecstatic indeed. Yeah, I raises some questions. Hikaru and Dodgy are an unlikely dream team, but if that ever happens, that allows me to, 138
Serious romance. Which raises the question, wasn't a5, a6 something that white could have aspired to? And
that must have explained a6. That's the only explanation I have, because I don't think in this position black has, time to spare. So if he chose to spend the tempo on a6, he was probably worried about a6, b6, knight b5 in some position.
a future day, like knight b5 might have just put the full flank on the queen side. Knight h2, and well, he's taken the g4 square under control, Marcus. Do you like this?
Yeah, I think Ding has made considerable progress here.
Yeah, the bishop will go to d4 probably.
Yeah, or just d3 also.
Yeah, also that. Yeah. Bishop takes. Yeah, both options seem fine, but I guess d3 is the simpler. Play bishop d3, trade those off, plant the knight on e4, and start pushing to c5, like the old-fashioned way of playing these positions.
And I have to say now the rook actually looks pretty good on knight 2.
It goes to c2 later potentially.
Which begs the question, gentlemen, why aren't we afraid as black of allowing bishop g4 to bishop e6? Isn't the bishop like nice?
But you go on knight f5. Yeah, that's why I sort of feel like bishop d3 is a bit more to the point.
Well,
By the way, if you really want to make a draw here with brides, I can imagine something like bishop g4, knight f5, just chop it off. And then you go knight e4, or even g4. We just set up with G4, 94, F3, and then what?
Yeah, but I don't think it's called for. I think bishop.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Because I think Ding at this point probably feels like he's reasonably safe and has a not insignificant chance of just not having to play the next block.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, for our viewers, Hikaru Nakamura fails this match. Should win. He's in the semifinals. And that was very important, Magnus, because as we came on show, we were explaining, Anna and did a great job of explaining why this particular match is really crucial for the finals. That if Hikaru were to win this match, he would go on to play in the Legends and likely absolutely secure a spot should somebody like yourself win 2 of the events.
That's his problem, not mine, right?
Good point, but you set it up. So when the whole Magnus Carlsen tour was being set up, you wanted to reward people who played in the tournaments and got deep into the quarters or the semis or the finals.
Yeah, so we just gone F3.
Do you like that? I wasn't going to touch that pawn.
Yeah, but I don't particularly mind.
Yeah, I was wondering about even maybe the immediate c5. Because I want my rook on c2, and
Yeah, but the immediate c5, queen f7, you know, things can get out of hand.
yeah, possibly.
e5 is a bit weak.
3 queen f7 played. The issue for black here is that h5 is extremely difficult / impossible to achieve because of how weak the pawn on g5 is. If you go knight d4, you instantly allow bishop d3. But actually, that's one of my points. Now with the pawn on f3, I am much less sure about this structure on the board. I'm much less happy about this with white because of d5 becomes, you know, f5. We can probably control it, but it wasn't there at all.
No. I think also for black here, you gotta give serious considerations to rook d8 and then c6. I mean, okay, so he's come rook d8. I mean, most probably you just weaken your position, but you gotta do something. There's not a lot of there aren't a lot of active plans. You can plant your knight on d4 whenever you want, but then white goes bishop e3. And the pawns on the king's side are never ever advancing, so the only active thing is c6.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Do we try to stop it, or...?
So clearly Dane, with rook f2, he believes that this should not be stopped.
So let's imagine bishop b2, c6, we played once on c6, queen d2. Is black really going to go d5?
Maybe not straight away, but you can start dreaming about it. You can start maybe preparing for it. And Ding has gone bishop b1, which is also a nod in the direction. But probably more of a nod in the direction of c6, and I say nothing. And I invite you to say take.
Yeah, but you go knight d4, then d5 is attack.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's lost the thread a little bit. I think there must have been a way to play more precisely.
Yeah, because I mean, objectively, if black just waits here, I don't think it's too easy to do much with white. I mean, you got a nice position, but whenever you start doing something active, then black's probably not going to be too unhappy about it. So.
Yeah, it's a different equilibrium to maintain here.
We're just in the move king g8, good waiting move, Peter?
Yeah, I mean, if we are planning to break something open in the center, I guess removing any kind of tactical questions about the queen on the same diagonal is not bad, even though it looks extremely remote and not that relevant.
Yeah, but I guess after c6 it could become relevant, but it's always a difficult choice here to choose a square, right? Because it could be useful to in some lines, exactly as on bishop b2 now, that either bishop takes g6 or bishop takes g7 and like as you said, it's extremely remote, but it might be relevant. So you really don't love any of these squares for the black king, but you have to choose something.
Okay, more directly, Hikaru trailing in the match. What can he do to disturb Ding Liren here?
I think, in particular, for the last round, you should postpone opening less time on the clock. So once again, it's maybe an oversimplification, but I do feel that won't give them anything complete to calculate when they're still 7 minutes on the clock, which is a good, I think, good practical choice.
I like this move by knight h4. Don't you? Ideas of maybe bishop f5 and bishop h3, or potentially bishop f5 and routing the knight to f4?
Yeah, I think that's his plan. Bishop h3 is unrealistic, but he just wants to get the knight to f4, and then, you know, queen g6, maybe h4, g4.
b4,
g4, sorry.
yeah, b4,
Yeah.
b5. Now
And
it's exciting.
Interesting that Ding is the first one to break the deadlock here with b5. I guess he doesn't really feel like waiting for another 5 moves. I was looking at knight g3 there. I was something I was kind of curious about. I was just trying to trade some pieces, but I guess queen f4 is a little bit awkward.
Did you say breaking the bathtub deadlock?
Something along, yeah. The bathtub is in severe danger now. It might completely disintegrate.
You gotta consider AB here. CB, then knight goes to f5. Or maybe rook a first at some point.
Okay, I guess he wants to go bishop c3, right? And then,
Yeah, I guess that's more useful for white than for black. Sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like we now have even white. Well, I mean, I have to play.
No, but that's exactly the point. Like knight d4 might just win a pawn.
Yeah, I've managed to place my pieces on such squares.
I mean,
that
there's queen c. There's queen b3, but you
there is
hate
queen b3, yeah, but I don't like
b5.
any of that. Yeah. What's the threat from white? Is he intending to go b6 or b8 and something? Like, why has he played b5?
I think b6 must be in his way.
Absolutely. I think b6 is potentially huge. I mean, I could see black center with b6 and bishop a3 kind of collapsing unless some action on the queen side, king side, pardon me, by black, stops white from just realizing a breakthrough.
And yeah, he kind of somehow completely ignored it, which I really don't think I like. He played b5, b6, knight g6, and now yes, the knight is, well, g3. Maybe it's just great. Maybe it's a very clever move.
Yeah, that's a move of confidence.
Yeah, but yeah, you really have to believe in your ideas here. And bishop h3 maybe even not really needed. Knight takes g5 might be decent.
Yeah.
Or rook h2 first. I don't know which one is stronger. That is also a very good option. So he's saying h3 is not hanging. He's also saying you have just spent 3 tempi preparing a maneuver which leads absolutely nowhere, and now I will start playing.
Yeah, I really think you have to go AB, and then not any chance.
And by the way, this rook on f2 is certainly a marvelous defender. So perfect genius. It feels like Ding Liren has played this opening as a man who just knows what he's doing. This is all great.
I think this is a very good position for black now. Just something like king g2. I don't know if we need to. Or bishop. Let's say we can go directly bishop a3, knight c8, king g3, or something like this. And then eventually we're going to and everything. White is sort of better everywhere.
I really, I mean, I'm just repeating myself here, but I really hated bishop f5 there.
Yeah, that seems strange. Allowing the
Yeah, you just, good or bad, you just had to take on d5, weaken d5, and try to get counter everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, queen b3 played, and
White has realized all of his plans, and black really just doesn't have anything to show. By the way, the knight f6. The funny thing is,
can we say? I guess we just played. Maybe we just played g4 here, and we kind of collected quietly. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a g4, and Magnus would mention some ideas like this even earlier. This g5 is hanging as well, Peter. There. So oops.
Yeah. And maybe we are also threatening g3, g4 right now.
Exactly. That was indeed exactly.
And then black really has nothing to show for anything. Like his position is. Yeah, that's the kind of a position I used to get in the King's Indian, which is why I abandoned the opening.
How do you get these kind of positions via knight bd7?
Not these. I think I got something close to this against Luki once in a Monaco tournament, and that probably was the final nail in the coffin, because we all love Luki, but when Luki starts giving you positional lessons like this, you feel like maybe the opening has something to do with it.
Yeah, then you trick him. That's the.
No, I lost the game horribly. No.
Okay. I was expecting a different ending to that story.
No. None of my pieces ever recovered, and I just lost the game. Like for him, I think it was very much like a simul game. I'm sure he won games like this in simul.
It was such a promising story, Peter. Sorry that you had to suffer through that. That's brutal, man.
Bishop h7 played, which is, I think we can describe it as a move.
Yeah, if you were to compare this exact position to, say, the position 10 moves ago, you would say that black has
gone backwards everywhere. Yeah,
to go backwards, and white has a pawn on b6, as a knight on c8. Yeah, it's all gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, this is not good.
Again, just to boldly mention the obvious, should Ding Liren win this game, they'll have an appointment with Magnus Carlsen in the semifinals.
And Rook d1 is a very logical move here. Just reinforcing the pawn on d5 and preparing c5, and Hikaru goes bishop g8, which I suspected was the idea of bishop h7, but it really doesn't make it any better. It's a very, very unpleasant position to look at. King g2, just enjoy it. Like
King g2, rook h1, h4 is also.
Thank you, Magnus. Exactly. King g2, rook h1, h4, and who's attacking whom on the king side? That looks terrible.
Yeah, and the amazing part about this position is also that there's this the pawn on b6, and black cannot attack it with any other pieces. So white is not even tied down
to rook d7, queen e7, rook d8.
And then I go bishop c1, bishop e3. Say, you force me to do something I kind of wanted to do anyway.
Yeah, but then you double the rooks on the f file, and you have one threat.
Yeah. No, it's
No, this is bad.
I can see both are a little chess sadists there. I mean, this just so bad for.
I think every good chess player is a bit of a sadist.
Exactly.
And also, I wanted to point out that this might be winning by force? Question mark. Probably not. Yeah, probably we don't need to allow rook takes d5 and start calculating. Still feel like it might be very good, but
there's a nice line here.
Something like bishop a2 here, and I don't know. What line? Tell me.
Okay, that was nonsense. That was up. I mean, I knew that it wouldn't work, but it doesn't work for a number of reasons. I was thinking, take everything on d5, take b7, um, and then take f8 and bishop e4. There are many reasons it doesn't
Yeah,
work.
but mainly because there's knight takes b6 in the end. Yeah. Oh,
No,
hang on. No,
rook f8.
not that one. Not that one. Not that
Yeah,
one.
knight b6 and bishop c5.
Yeah, but we're actually not losing then. I thought we were
Yeah,
losing,
the
but we're
bishop.
not. And he has played king g2, and Hikaru goes back to h7, which means that now we can play c5 without even sacrificing anything if we want to.
Then I think that's black's only hope, really. You take on e4, you take on c5, you go.
You
knight.
take on e4 first, and then you
Yeah.
take on and you go knight d6, and you claim this is the best position you've had in the game or something.
Yeah.
Which probably ends up not being true.
No, it's still pretty horrible. Let's say queen b4.
Yeah,
maybe.
queen b4, rook c1 or something. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. c5 played. dc5, knight c5. I think probably is. Is it? Yeah, because we're still losing the d5 pawn after bishop takes b1. So I was very attracted to the idea of landing the knight on e6, but it might not actually happen here.
No.
dc played, and yeah, okay, knight takes e5. Interesting. He's calculated something here.
And
Bishop
Hikaru's
b1.
looking at it and
This
saying,
just seems unnecessary.
"Yeah, do I have a chance?"
Rook takes b1. Okay, so he is intending to. After rook d5, I'm sure there's some tactical something which works. I understand it's not very specific,
Knight
but
a6.
knight a6. So I was even looking at knight b7. Knight a6. I mean, I don't want to win that pawn. I want to win this one.
No, but the thing is, you get knight c7.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, rook fd8, knight c7, rook d7. I'm still pretending I'm alive somehow. And after knight b7, like I don't know if I'm winning here, but I wouldn't be surprised if I was with white, like something like rook c2, and I think it lands on c7 in many cases and probably ends the game. Who knows? But yeah, it feels a little bit like.
Isn't there queen takes d5 in that position?
Queen takes d5. I thought we'd take on b7, and because the pawn is protected.
Sorry. Another position where there was a queen on b7. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm still not sure because there's rook f6 here.
Knight d6.
Yeah, that is good. That is good.
That's a nasty.
Yeah, and Hikaru declines the invitation, goes rook f8. That is very surprising to me because, like, we know what this position is.
Disaster.
Yeah, we
What
don't
are you
really.
talking about? Black has a passed pawn.
Oh yeah.
That guy over there is a passed pawn. If the world
A
champion says
protected
so.
pass pawn.
Yeah. But now we go like rook c1, c7, and everything starts crumbling, right? Played rook c1 already.
Rook
c7,
c1.
rook c7 looks quite clean.
Yeah, we can also take on e7 first, but we don't need to. Because do we? 95?
Yeah,
I guess
queen b5.
Yeah, I guess we end up winning this. Are we? Like rook b5 here?
Oh, I missed rook b5.
b2.
Rook b2 maybe is still winning, but it feels like bishop takes e7 is just cleaner. Why are we giving up any of our stuff?
By the way, when you see the move bishop e7 and you think about the worst kind of King's Indian endings where the bishop on g7 versus a good knight.
Yeah, we could also, talking about chess sadism. How about this?
That's a
how about
that knight on
e4
is a real Thor, a god of thunder.
How about this? Yeah, it's just not great.
It's
bringing back very painful memories.
Wow, that would be a very, very enjoyable position for the Chinese grandmaster. Time.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
No, really? Oh my!
Well, I mean, I think it's a very decent technical solution here, honestly, unless there's rook c8 there.
No, but rook c8, rook c2.
Yeah, he's gone rook c7. He can still do it here. It's still is completely winning if he wants. I don't think anything changed. So, rook c2 is probably just cleaner. Just go in for the kill, then the second one on c7 and win.
Yeah. No, this is just a absolutely dreadful positional.
E4, active play.
Yeah, you have to play e4, but sadly for you, I think
liberating the bishop.
Yeah, you liberate it, and then it gets captured on g7, which is
party pooper.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah, this is
apologize.
kind of sad.
Bad indeed. Well, I mean, if this position holds up, you'll have appointment with Mr. Dinglerin, Magnus. How do you feel about them apples?
It's gonna be tough. Obviously. But I mean, I always give the same answer. It's gonna be tough, but I feel good. So I'm not gonna.
Uh,
But he's shown in these tournaments, and I think especially in this match that he has got some serious positional chops. Like he can just run you over with without giving you counter chances in a lot of games. So yeah, he's extremely strong, of course.
well, number 3 player in the world, playing in the candidates tournament. The talk on the street is which player would give you the greatest challenge in a world championship match. Fabi and Dinglerin were 2 of the biggest vote getters. So a lot of people are going to be watching your semifinal match with a great interest.
So he just resigned after Queen.
Yeah, after Queen A4, he gets mated or loses like a full rook in most lines, I think. Go the lines while you were picking.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a completely lost position. So
That was a real disaster. And there you have it, the final score in this quarterfinal, 2.5 off the semifinals, which will begin tomorrow, same time, same channel, have been secure, and we have the 4 semi-finalists. Again, Magnus, sorry, you got, I think you got cut off there. Have you played? Well, no, I mean, of course you played them a lot. I'm just trying to think of a match.
No, I mean, in the first invitational I played against Sting.
Yeah.
I drew the first and lost the second, and somehow won the last 2 miraculously. So it's obviously going to be tough. I lost the playoff in the Sinkfield Cup as well.
Exactly.
very nice.
I recall you playing a big blitz rapid match in Sinkfield Cup where you
Those were better times.
Yeah, that was a really, really, really fantastic demonstration. But as you pointed out, the Sinkfield Cup, that things went wrong there for you.
So I think it all comes down to the one thing that sort of bodes well for me is the starting time, right? Because he's gonna be playing in the middle of the night,
Midnight time or so.
And there was this match that we played in Blitz and Rapid, and it was in 2017 in the fall, and he wasn't quite as strong then as he is now. And that match I just dominated. Right. And then we had the tiebreak match in the Sinkfield Cup, which started at like 10 in the morning. And that was just impossible for me. I mean, I had no chance at 10 o'clock in the morning. And this one, I guess I gotta drag the matches out, right, to get it to midnight for him, or even worse. That's my best.
I believe your opponent is smiling since he has joined the call as well. Welcome to the show, Dingley, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Your opponent for tomorrow on the line. Any messages you'd like to give to Magnus?
Well, it's a very exciting match ahead. And just enjoy the game.
Excellent.
Very happy to play against Magnus since we have played a lot of exciting and fighting games. And I hope we can still produce many interesting encounters.
How did you feel today? Things went well for you.
Yeah, in the second game, some key points, especially when I play Rook A8. After that, I found my position much better. Just work. Yeah, here. If you play Queen A1, then A3, the point. Knight A3, Rook A5, Knight C4, Bishop C4, Bishop takes, Knight A2.
Oh, this is very nice.
Yeah, Bishop A3 and Bishop B4. This is what I found.
Beautiful calculation there, Dane.
Yeah, it should be better for black. Overall, there's a smooth win.
Yeah, game 3 was really impressive. Magnus was with us throughout, and he said you showed some positional chops, some good understanding in this game 3, even a master class.
Yes, I myself played with King's India many times. So, before.
Magnus felt that he had to play A6 takes B5, even if it's a bad position, but he thought the move bishop F5 was a bad move.
But now I can create postpone A6.
Certainly, but maybe black has better counterplay here compared to the game, because in the game, I think in 3 moves time, you're just completely winning.
Yeah, I have my century too strong. I can slowly improve my position without any risk.
We were particularly impressed by the move G2, G3. When it was shown on the board, we go, right. Even Magnus said that is the move of a confident man. At this moment, you felt very, very good about your position. Yes?
Yeah, it's very important to restrict his knights.
And you accomplished that very nicely. Peter, any questions for Gingo?
I think I wanted to ask if at any point in game 2, let's say when you got to let's say this position, did you feel that white had, let's say, if you play slowly here, do you think there might be a chance that white holds this? Or
yeah, of course. If I didn't break through with F5, then after knight G3, I don't see how to make progress. My king, I placed my king to D3, but then he just played bishop G1, bishop 2.
so in this position, let's say the king gets here, but then he still has moves to make, and there is no progress.
Yeah.
But after F5, you feel there is no defense here. Yeah.
Actually, I didn't see how to win if we didn't play H5.
Exactly. This is what another point that we were discussing. That if he waits here, how do you force
Maybe
him
there are
to?
some that's wrong.
We were looking at something like just knight e4, knight g3 here, and
Yes, queen on G6.
okay.
And C6, but now king 3. Now queen f6.
And now queen f6, yeah, and yeah, I guess it always happens somehow.
He can play king h3. Oh, king h3 also king h3.
Yeah.
And he has to play h5 anyway.
And then we get back to what happened in the game, yeah. No, I don't think I have any questions. I just wanted to say extremely well played today, and congratulations, and good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely. And does that hold a moment, Dane? Does our social media have some questions for our final semifinals?
I think the viewers are extremely happy to have Dingliren with us. They were asking me already the previous broadcast to when we will have the world number 3 joining us. So everyone is really excited. And I wanted to ask about your experience the other day playing Banter Blitz. From what I heard, tens of thousands of people were watching in China, and your grandmaster friend was hosting it in Chinese as well. Can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah, of course, it's much better to speak Chinese during the game. Since if I speak English like in the first time I play Banter, then I will only focus on the game to say what I will play next and what's my plan. But if I communicate with Li Chao, and there are also many questions from the spectators, from the fans, then also Chinese in my native language, so I feel much relaxed and speaking Chinese.
That's totally understandable, and it must have been an amazing experience for all your fans in China and outside China. I see so many people in the chat, in the English language chat as well, rooting for you. Congratulations again on making it to the semifinals. And as we announced, Ding Liren's opponent is the world champion, Magnus Carlsen, starting tomorrow.
Thank you, Anna. Ding, I have one final question before I let you get to sleep, because it's very late in China there for you. I noticed that your countrywoman, Hu Yifan, was playing Banter Blitz before we came on the show. Tell us your thoughts about Hu Yifan.
First, as a chess player, she's very, very strong. But now maybe she is more focused on his study, but also his social activities. Maybe he's not totally focused on the chess, since he has many other things to do. But of course, I hope she'll get back to the elite tournament.
Yeah, as do we all. We sure hope she does come back to chess. She is missed. Thank you very much for joining us. Get yourself some sleep. You've got an important game tomorrow against a good opponent. Thank you very much, Dick.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye for now. And Peter, if you could, sum up today.
Well, today was I feel, a masterclass by Ding Liren. He played, game one was a very correctly played Catalan, which ended as correctly played Catalans often do in a draw. And then games 2 and 3, I think Ding played better than Hikaru, quite simply, and very, very well. There were moments during game 2 where Hikaru maybe could have played better, and maybe his position wasn't all that bad in parts of it, but if you look at the overall picture, Ding took more precise decisions throughout that game, and eventually his very sharp tactical solutions and his general understanding have prevailed. In particular, if you look at the sequence starting from probably a somewhat optimistic move, knight b2 c4 here by Hikaru, allowing a4. And if we look at the position 5 moves later, Black is suddenly winning a lot of material. And although during the broadcast we thought maybe Black would have converted cleaner, but in the end, Ding Liren did not really have too much trouble dismantling this attempted fortress by the American. And then game 3, to my eyes, was maybe even more impressive, because Hikaru is a very, very accomplished player of the King's Indian. And he was, at least in the last 10 moves, he was made to look... I mean, his position looked exactly like the King's Indian positions aren't really supposed to look. White achieved absolutely everything on the queen side without allowing any counterplay, frankly, on the king side. And this is not how I expected that game to go when I saw, let's say, some position around move 15, where it still looked like there's plenty of play and Black has all kinds of plans to sharpen things up. But Ding played very confidently without really ever losing control over the proceedings, and I think emerges as a very deserved winner of today's set and the entire match.
Absolutely. And before I set the semifinals match, I just want to ask you about your own professional schedule there. Peter, are you going to be with us tomorrow?
I think I'm not. As far as I know, tomorrow I'm skipping a day, and I will be ably replaced by Sam Shankland.
Okay.
So the viewers have that to look forward to. But I will be back for much of the conclusion of the event. Might skip
Wonderful.
one more day somewhere.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Peter. And Anna, get the last word from the social media crowd. What did they think of today's match, and what do you have? What's trending?
I think simply everyone is amazed by, of course, the quality of play of the world number 3, Ding Liren. Lots of fans of Hikaru being said that Hikaru will not continue with us for the rest of this event. But remember, guys, he's doing very well overall, so we may see him in the next leg of the Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour, and maybe even in the grand finale. So Hikaru overall is still doing very well in terms of the standing points, which we were trying to describe earlier. Who are not doing very well. I was looking at our predictions, guys. We were trying to predict these pairs, and from the Grisho Giri match, I was the only one who picked Anish, so I got that one right. But between Ding Liren and Hikaru Nakamura, it was only Peter who picked Ding Liren, so none of us are on 2 out of 2, I'm afraid, in our little fantasy contest.
Doesn't sound like we're doing well, but in any case, here are the semifinalists. Your semifinalists: Magnus Carlsen versus Ding Liren, and Jan Nepo versus Anish Giri. Will be contested same time, same channel. Looking forward to those semifinals, and a big shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let your friends know where you're hanging out and join us for tomorrow. In the meanwhile, have a good night. Bye, everyone.
If you're a chess player, you have plenty of opportunities to challenge and play online against the top players participating in the Chessable Masters Super Tournament. Don't miss the opportunity to